Lads, welcome back to Fusion YGO. Today on Budget Month, we're going to talk about structure decks.
Because some of them are good.
And most of them aren't.
Yeah, that's a sad thing.
So we're going to be talking about every structure deck, and we're going to rank them from worst to best. We're going to go from bottom to top, even though it's listed from top to bottom.
All the structure decks from 2017 to now.
To today. So we have, what, 4, 8, 12, 16 total? So in 2017, we had 4 structure decks. We're going to talk about all of them. First is going to be Pendulum Domination, the DDD structure deck.
Yep.
Then it's going to be Machine Reactor, which is the Ancient Gear. Dino Smasher's Fury, which is Dino. And then the Link, the Cyber's Link. I think that was the Link starter deck.
Yes, it was. Because that's around the time that they finally switched.
It was either that or it was the one with, not Power Code, Transcode Talker. Either way, it's not good.
No.
So, Pendulum Domination actually had the opportunity of being really good for about 3 weeks. Yeah. Then Zoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Pendulum Domination, the DDD strategy, is actually seeing play now. So if you invested in it and hoarded it for 4 years, kudos to you. You were right. It eventually became really good.
I mean, the thing is, like, Pendulum is always going to be good. No matter how much they hurt it,
yeah,
people will still play it because they like it.
DDD just has a lot of choke points.
It does.
But it's a fun strategy. It can do its Link Monster's insane.
Yeah.
It's a really good strategy, and if you pick them up, good for you.
Yeah.
Machine Reactor was a literal one-card structure deck.
Yeah.
To the Ancient Gear fans out there, I'm sorry, but your strategy isn't very powerful. It can do some cool stuff. It's really good in like Dual Links, but
yeah.
Overall, it was for Max C. And it came out alongside, not like it was like really close together. No, they came out at the exact same time as Dino Smashers,
which was very bad for them
because Dino was significantly stronger.
Let's just skip Dino for later because let's be honest, if you don't know what Dinos is, I don't know what rock you're living under.
It was really good on release. Dino has come in and out of the format. But it released everything. The Soul Eating Oviraptor was in this. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno was in this. It was just a really, really well put together structure deck.
And
it had Twin Twisters.
And it re-released in 2019 or in 2020.
Yep.
And still did good.
It's still alive.
Yeah.
Then in 2018 we had the Wave of Light, the Counter Fairy structure deck. Followed up closely by the Lair of Darkness structure deck. Mm-hmm. Then we have Power Code Link.
Yeah.
And then the best deck of that year, which was Zombie Horde.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be a debate from anybody.
No.
Then we had 2019. This year was actually crazy for structure decks.
All 3 of them are still played today.
We had the Soul Burner structure deck that re-released Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring as a common, which caught the entire community went crazy. And this is the only deck on this list that's actually won Worlds.
Yeah. It's Salad. Yeah.
Order of the Spellcasters came out after that.
Endymion.
And then Rocket Revolt came out at the end of the year.
Dragon Link is the best deck right now.
Still alive.
And Endymion is the best Pendulum deck by far. Like,
yeah. And it's Salamangreat.
And Salad has continuously been a rogue to tier 2 deck that just has never stopped seeing play.
Then we had 2020, which started on a high note.
Shaddoll Showdown.
And then it just slowly went down a decrease here. It was Shaddoll. Then we had the Machina, which is a toolbox. It's got some cool stuff. Then we had Sacred Beasts, which was
fun.
I enjoy it. Like, I have it. I played it. It's fun.
Yeah. It's Chris.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then Spirit Charmers.
Why didn't they give us freaking evenly matched
money?
I understand that, but what I mean is
evenly matched confirmed in Ghost from the Past. I have no idea if that's confirmed. I made that up.
No, they OCG got it. We didn't. That pissed me off.
Well, that's why everybody thought we weren't going to get the Ash Blossom reprint. And then so far in 2021, we've had the Ice Barrier Freezing Chains. So first, we're going to rank the years, the structure deck years, and this
number 5.
So number 5 is 2021.
We've had one deck.
It wasn't going to be. It was going to be this.
It's not a great deck, but it's better than some.
You'll see that when we get to ranking the individual decks.
Next was
2018 was number 4. 2018, Zombie Horde is literally carrying it.
Zombie Horde is a rogue deck that can play against other decks. can't play against itself, and it can never be tier 1.
Wave of Light, when have you ever heard Counter Fairies doing anything on a competitive level? Power Code Link,
It gave us a couple cool Link monsters.
It just doesn't do enough. Lair of Darkness was literally Lilith Turbo. And Darkest Diabolus, like some of the cards have seen success competitively, but overall, like it was a 1, maybe 2 card deck. Everything else was just kind of like fluff.
Yeah.
And then
next is
so after 2018, we had 2020. So the top 3 was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
2020 is held on by Shaddoll, but then...
And strictly Shaddoll. Shaddoll is pretty much carrying the load for this entire year.
But Mechanized Madness, because of how easily splashable it is into any machine deck, that is the only reason. Sacred Beast and Spirit Charmers are just bad.
Yeah.
Spirit Charmers,
bad decks really brought this year down.
The only thing for Spirit Charmers that it has going, Dark Ruler No More.
Yep, it's a 1-card deck.
Yeah.
Sacred Beasts is just... It really is just casual fluff, which is perfectly fine. You can't have all bangers, and we've talked about some of the non-bangers. So for number 2, we went with 2017. DDD and Dino Smash are pretty, like, they're good enough to carry to, I think...
Dinosaurs being all of their best cards besides, like, 3 of them coming out of Dino Smashers.
We've seen Dino in the format a lot, and the only times it was out of the format was because
VFD
Miscellaneousaurus was limited, or because True King of All Chlamydia was clapping it around.
Literally, those 2 things were the only things that kept it from being in the top tier, and people were still playing it Rogue to tier 2 and winning with it. It's just it wasn't as consistent.
We're not sponsored by Coke, but
please sponsor us.
Do it! You won't, cowards!
Well, they don't sponsor Game Theorists, so they're not going to sponsor us.
That's fair. And then number 1, and this is going to be super shocking. This is going to surprise everybody, but it was 2019.
3 decks, all 3 of them still competitive played. All 3 of them having cards that are banned in them, or limited, either on the forbidden and limited list. Salad having 2.
I don't think Rocket has anything that's...
Endymion has 1. Rocket...
is untouched.
Is it?
Completely
Everything
untouched.
in it?
Everything in it.
It being a tier 1 deck, there we go. That fixes what I said.
All of them have seen top tier competitive success. All of them had amazing reprints. All of them are really useful within their niche. All of them changed the format, warped it around it. When the Salad Structure Deck came out, it amassed over 40% of the meta at the time.
Yes.
When Sky Striker was at full power. It came out before Orcust was at full power. So if anybody's like, well, what about Orcust? I did a video on that. Look back in the archive.
And then Endymion, I want to build Endymion because I think it would be fun, but...
Endymion won a tournament with the new ban list without Electromite and with Servant at 1. Triff topped the tournament with it. With Orcust Sky Striker at full strength. What?
Yeah, like...
what a mad lad.
It can do anything that you want it to. And then Rockets, Dragon Link.
It just won't
2019,
die.
by far, it has to be.
Yeah, it wasn't even... Like, number 1, between number 1 and number 2 was pretty substantial. But between 2 and 3, it was the toss-up, but it was...
Even then, I think... Specifically because of the
we had to go.
set.
Yeah, we had to go 2017. It just
I would say 2020 to 18 was probably the harder one.
It really wasn't. 18 had nothing.
Zombie was. It was pretty clear.
Yeah,
it wasn't. So now we've got ranking the decks themselves. There are 16. So
first is the Cyber. Number 16 is Cyber Slink. And well, 15 is Power Code. Like. Look, they're code talkers.
Literally, the only thing those did for us was give us the Link monsters in the extra deck. Their entire main deck, everyone threw away.
Yeah, no, pretty much.
Yeah, I like the Link cards. I don't know how to say that nicer.
Yeah, the decks themselves were just not good.
Next is Freezing Chains.
Freezing Chains is number 14.
It's fun. I built it. It is nowhere near consistent. It's nowhere near good.
It just doesn't give you any staples that you didn't already have. I mean, it gives you a Fiendish... Who out there was actually asking for a Fiendish Chain reprint?
The only other card that it got a reprint...
Crackdown.
Crackdown, I was going to say also, if for if people wanted to do it with Virtual World, they could play Trish. It's just not great.
And Dupe and Ronan Totem.
Yeah.
Cool. You didn't give a Swap Frog. Cowards.
Next is Spirit Charmers, 1-card deck.
Literally, Dark Ruler No More makes it better than the other 3 decks on this list.
But it's just that what it could have given us and what it did give us was nowhere near good enough.
That and Charmers are just not good enough on their own. And that's not knocking the deck. It's just not... In a competitive sense, it's just not good enough.
Yeah.
Next up is Sacred Beasts.
It's fun. It'll win you some games on Cheese Factor alone.
If you take away... If you just leave the archetypal cards, Sacred Beasts is better than Spirit Charmers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of why I had to put it there.
And it'll cheese out some games.
Yeah. It'll cheese out some games. Lair of Darkness gives trap decks the one thing they always needed. Consistency, consistency, consistency. Lilith has seen her play in and out of formats. There are stun lists, or not even just stun lists, but Mystic Mind lists that used Lilith. It's just a good... Lilith is a good card.
Yeah.
Darkest Diabolos is dumb. The Thunder Dragon Link... The Thunder Dragon deck used that to help hand rip like 3 cards out of your hand.
Yeah.
So, Lair of Darkness got there because some of its cards have seen competitive success.
Yeah.
After that, it's the Machine Reactor.
Ancient Gear.
Maxi literally put it in the number 10 spot. Because Maxi is better than every other...
Hand trap.
It's the... of all of those decks, it is individually the strongest card there.
Without question.
And it's not even close. I mean, it is better than anything that Lair of Darkness gave us, Sacred Beast. All of those decks probably put together, Maxi trumps all of them.
The only reason I would say that we have it at 10 is entirely because, yes, it's a 1-card structure deck, but the card's also banned. If it was at 3, honestly, I wouldn't be angry with it being in the top 5.
Yeah.
If you could play Maxi at 3, I would not be angry with putting
100%.
Machine Reactor in the top 5.
Yeah, just because of that one card.
Yeah,
that's
that is how powerful
that
card is.
Number 9, we went with Wave of Light.
Yeah.
Counterfears.
It does more than the others, but again, Maxi is banned.
If you take away Maxi, Wave of the Counter Fairies is better than Ancient Gears or all the other decks. Yeah, it's just better than them. But that was actually the hardest choice was between 10 and 9, and this list was 10 and 9. They were the hardest ones.
Yeah, and then the next 8 are the ones that actually see competitive play more than just one card.
So number 8 is the Machina structure deck.
Yeah.
Mechanized Magnus.
Orcus love it.
Orcus loves it. The Earth Toolbox is loving it because Yeet Cruncher is really freaking strong.
Yeet Cruncher and also
Citadel is
Citadel.
No joke.
Yeah, like
you can't let that thing stick. That thing
having
nukes.
2 good boss monsters in that same archetype alone, and then also keep this in mind: it had Scrap Recycler in the structure deck. So Scrap Recycler,
but no Wyvern and no Golem.
No.
Cowards.
But in fairness, if it did have that, it would probably be in the top 5.
Maybe. I don't think in the top 5.
I think those 2 could put it above.
I think it might be.
5.
I think it might be in 6 because the top 5 is really really stacked.
Yeah, it would be up a couple spots.
Number 7 is Zombie.
Rogue.
Because it's Rogue. It's never been a top tier deck, but it's always been a Rogue contender.
I will say this: I love playing dinosaurs. Zombie World kills me. I can't play.
It's such a powerful strategy in select formats. It saw Rogue success when Salad was the best deck because it had just a good matchup against Salad because of Zombie World alone.
Making everything a zombie in the graveyard and on field just makes everything so much harder to play.
And Doom King Baller Drock is no joke.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Next up is DDD. This deck only got 3 weeks to really shine during its peak, which is sad. But Zodiac changed the game forever.
Zodiac was tier 0 for so long.
That was a very long time.
And it was very annoying.
You have no idea.
I don't, but I played online a little bit and I just didn't want to keep playing.
Yeah, it's bad. But DDD is actually really strong. Number 6 was kind of hard. Well, it wasn't really hard to place, but these top 5, you could change the order. You could make a solid argument for any one of these 5 to be number 1.
Yeah.
You easily could.
Yeah.
But starting at number 5 is Endymion.
As powerful as Endymion is, it's just Pendulum is not powerful enough.
It's never conquered the tier 1.
Pendulum is not powerful enough right now, or really since Endymion came out, that we could put it above 5.
Yep.
The other 4 just consistently have been able to do more than it.
Yep.
And that's the only reason.
Rocket is at number 4.
It has a bunch of the cards that you need.
But you have to pick up a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you have to pick up, which is ultimately what brought this deck down. The other problem with the deck is that it had a lot of missed opportunities like Borreload Savage Dragon, Boreal Sword Dragon. It had a lot of misses. It could have given us Allure of Darkness, which is better than Squib Draw in that deck specifically. Fight me.
That is an arguable comment, I will say that, but
Squib Draw is just not good.
No.
But overall, the Rocket structure deck, what held it back was honestly just what it was missing.
Yeah.
In number 3, it was Shaddoll.
It has everything you need except for, like...
It conquered the meta.
Yeah.
On release, that deck, because... So, it's conquered the meta twice.
Yes.
This isn't the first time Shaddoll has been a top deck. So, when they released it as a structure deck, I was like, well, I mean, what's it going to do? Oh, God, was I, like, not prepared.
Yeah, it gave you...
everything!
No, what... Construct.
Yeah, it gave Construct back to 3, which actually changed the deck, and the deck became the best deck in the format.
Yeah, you only needed to pick up a couple things, and immediately the deck just goes off.
And in all seriousness, you could make the argument that you didn't really need to pick up anything. You could put 3 structure decks together and compete.
Yes, easily.
The fact that it came with Super Poly and things like that, wild.
And that is what I would argue for why the top 3 are the top 3 for us. All 3 of them are, if you throw in 3 of the structure decks and do your best version of deck building, the top 3 alone can probably win
with minimal investment outside of the decks. Like Shaddoll, you might have to pick up a couple of cards.
Like Veilers or Performage, Trick Clown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
nothing
that's about it.
Wild.
Dinosaur, next is
You don't have to invest a ton. So, number 2, we went with Dino. It's Dino.
Yeah.
The
only thing you have to pick up for Dino, double Evo.
Yeah.
If you pick up 2 double evolution pills, and a Quatless, all 3 of those in total cost you like another $2.
There you go. You got
look at that. You've got a consistent deck.
Is it going to be top tier?
No.
But you can win games.
I played it using that specific version, and I won a couple games against Shaddoll.
You can win games with it. It has the chance.
Yeah. Lastly, Soul Burner.
It's not a surprise. I mean, you literally...
Ash Blossom, banned card, limited card.
On release, you had to pick up a total of 3 different card names. 3 Sunlight Wolf, 1 Violet Chimera, and 1 Fusion of Fire.
Yeah.
Everything else was there.
Yeah.
You didn't need Sign-Out Mining because Circle was at 3. When Circle dropped from 3 to 1,
you played Sign-Out Mining at 3.
We got Sign-Out Mining in the next, I think in the 10, or we
10.
got it...
10.
We got it pretty soon after, so it was pretty cheap. Like, Salad never went anywhere, and it won Worlds.
Yeah, when you have a deck that came with arguably one of the best hand traps to be released...
Yep.
A card that got limited because it made the deck really consistent in Gazelle, and a banned Xyz monster.
Deck was good.
We can't argue because none of the other ones really have any cards that the entire deck around it had banned cards to make it less consistent.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs had missed at the time, but it came back and it's been topping. Shaddoll got Construct back and it became topping. Soul Burner, they had to hit it because it became topping.
Because it conquered the meta. It conquered the meta in a way none of the other decks in this list have ever conquered the meta. Dino has done well.
Yeah.
Shaddoll conquered the meta in a similar fashion, but it wasn't nearly as long-lived.
Rocket is...
And Endymion, while I love it, and I love Pendulum,
Yeah.
it was never a top-tier strategy.
Yeah.
Regardless of what Triff says, because I'll call him out.
Can it win? Yes. Will it consistently win? No.
Because it requires a very, very intelligent pilot, and you have to know every kind of minor interaction with your deck, which is hard.
But
especially if you want to have a life.
But as we said with this, like Dinosaur, Shaddoll, Soul Burner, Rocket, and Endymion, those are the main 5 we would suggest getting. Buying 3 of them costs between $30 and $45.
Depending. I mean, the Soul Burner ones are it's going to be about 60 now. But
I mean, on release of when they came out,
yeah,
they were all $10 to $15, and
a $30 investment.
Yeah, so $30 to $45, and you have a deck that is playable. That is the whole core of budget.
Yeah. And if you want to play on a budget, you want to look for decks that are similarly built to the top 5.
Yeah.
If you find a deck that's built like those, with good reprints, good staples, and has a comprehensive, easy to follow, easy to play strategy with minimal investment needed from the outside, you can win games.
Yeah.
The best overall built deck, I think Shaddoll probably takes just because of the number of good reprints. It had BLS in it.
Yeah.
The Shaddoll cards obviously are really powerful. And it had a fully set extra deck.
Honestly, with Shaddoll Fusion alone made that deck so powerful.
Yeah.
Like, just that one card.
Because it was $30 a piece before it came out. Wild!
Yeah, that card alone. So, I think Soul Burner is
well constructed.
Very well.
All 5 of them are well constructed, except for maybe Dino. Dino is kind of poorly constructed, but it's a product
as a single.
Yeah.
I think as a 3 of, it is perfectly fine. Yeah. As a single, it isn't because of how many trap cards are in it. Though, how many times did I screw you over with Ojama Trio?
Ojama Trio can be a real problem to deal with, guys. But that's our ranking. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that other good stuff.
Follow your Twitter.
Oh yeah, follow the Twitter. I do post things. We have some cool announcements coming up.
Yeah.
If you listen to the Haver Cardman's podcast tomorrow, I will be on it. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a lot of different things.
Yeah. And
you get to find out more about me behind the scenes.
We're also soon.
Which is not hard to do if you've ever talked to me.
Yeah. But anyway.
So that's it. So make sure to do all the good stuff, the likes, the comments, subscribbles, all that good stuff. Yell at me in the comment section.
Tell us how dumb we are.
Tell me why my list sucks, even though you can't. You can. There's a place for that if you think I'm wrong. And again, Coca-Cola's.
Do it! Tell us how good the Link starter deck is. Please do it. Tell us how great that is and how much
tell me
we
why
should.
my numbers 16 and 15 are totally wrong.
Yeah, why they should be the numbers 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway.
That's it. Pasta la vista. And until next time, lads, good fun. Have luck.